usually when I get on the sticks, I try to, make sure my lighting is right. Make sure that, I read over my stuff and I'm going over the emotions of the game, and I'm making sure that I'm talking in sync and doing everything I need to do to make the blog or podcast or whatever I'm doing interesting. And when I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns, for so many years, I've come on here and had to think about different things to entertain people, things to say, things to talk about, things that, weren't having to do with football. I had to, sometimes tell stories and, relate the Browns to business or life or dating or relationships or just life in general, the struggle. And I think so many times as fans, as people who have, supported a team through so many ups and downs, through so many, trials and tribulations, in Sundays or the roller coasters of life, those roller coasters are what this world is about. Getting on that roller coaster, climbing to the top of the hill and being scared out of your wits, but only to come down and be scared, but it's exhilarating at the same time. And you think you'll never get up that high again. You'll never do anything scary like this again. And then you just get back on the roller coaster again and do it all over again. And that's what it's like for being a Cleveland Browns fan. Day after day, year after year, week after week, month after month, talking about the draft, talking about coaches, whether or not we got the right front office, whether or not we found a quarterback, whether or not we got a GM, whether people are fighting. Does our owner care about our football team, or does he want to have a soccer team? Is he got in a scandal of some sort? Is our best players, do they really care? Can we get any free agents? These are all of the things that we as Cleveland Browns fans think about. And as I get ready to come on and do this blog on the last game of the season against the Pittsburgh Steelers, was the game perfect? No. Do the Browns have some major glaring weaknesses? Sure they do. But when you make the playoffs, damn it. No one gives a damn about none of that other stuff. No one gives a damn about none of that other stuff because the Cleveland Browns are going to the playoffs. Repeat it again. Cleveland Browns are going to the playoffs. Repeat this again for me one time for your mind. The Cleveland Browns are going to the playoffs. I get chills up my spine hearing that. Man, I'm so happy for y'all, man. I'm so happy for y'all, man. Man, I'm so happy for those people out there. And I get it. I understand, man. It was against the second unit. We looked like trash half the game today. We looked like garbage half today. Our defense was giving up points left and right. It looked like we were going to give the game up at the end of the game. We couldn't get our run game going. I didn't like the game plan from Stefanski. I hated the game plan once again from Woods. There's a bunch of things that could have gone wrong, that looked like they were going to go wrong. But guess what? At the end of the day, for once, the Browns got the bounces like they've been getting all year. And they found a way to win a tough ball game with multiple starters out and multiple people out. And they found a way to get it done. Yes, they did. And you can't, listen, like they say, you can't criticize the form when it's going in. Say it again. You can't criticize that form when it's going in. At the end, we sitting here today and we made the playoffs. We didn't wait on the Dolphins. We didn't wait on the Colts. We didn't wait on the Titans and some of these other games. Yeah, it was ugly. We came and did what we needed to do to get that game taken care of today. We did what we needed to do to punch that ticket. And when you punch the ticket, you got so much more to look forward to. So much more. And you got an opportunity to get playoff experience. You got an opportunity to get your young guys involved. You got an opportunity to get a taste of that postseason flavor. To see your name at the bottom of that graphic, man. I don't know about you guys, but having the opportunity to see my name at the bottom of the graphic, and it says the Cleveland Browns have clinched the playoff spot since the first time since 2002. man, I went and pounded my dad, gave him fists, my mom, my dad, my brothers, and it's a time for celebration out there, because the reality is there's Browns fans all around this great world and great country who have waited for the opportunity to see the Browns get in playoffs, who wanted to see the Browns just taste the playoffs, sniff the playoffs. And those people have passed away. Those people have gone on to better pastures. Those people have left here, some of our loved ones, some of our people that made us Browns fans. Whether that was your mother, your father, your grandfather, uncles, brothers, cousins, nieces, nephews, next door neighbors, best friends, office mates, all of that. Community members, leaders. We've lost so many people in those years. And when that 2002 came across the screen, I got emotional because I thought about all of those people that have gone on before us, that you would like to call, that you would like to text, that you wanted to turn and high five to, but didn't have an opportunity to. That's how long it's been. And that's why I said it's so important. There was a young lady who called me on the phone during the Browns pregame show, and she was nervous and apprehensive about this game. And she said, "I don't know, G. Bush, man. This seems like a really tough game." And I said, "I'm not gonna lie. I got Mason Rudolph throwing for over 300 yards. They got receivers. Their receivers will still be playing." And Mason Rudolph came out here and did exactly that. But I told her that the Cleveland Browns have found a way not to lose 2 games in a row all year. The game might be a nail biter and it might be close, but you got to trust in the process. And until they prove us wrong, we just got to go with it. And she said something for me. She said, a lot of people in the media might not understand this, but for a lot of us, this game means something. This is important to us. This game means something. And it meant a lot for a lot of people how big of a win this is out of the crazy things that have been happening in our lives this year. A lot of people's 2020s ain't the greatest of 2020s. We talked about 2020 being one of the years that we would like to forget. One of the greatest commercials in the world is the devil finding his perfect match on Match.com and dating 2020, right? I love that commercial. But it on a deeper level, it's so true, because we've had so many things go wrong for us. Whether it's it's COVID-19, whether it's losing a lot of people losing their jobs, people not being just calamities, just different things all across the world. And I just look at, for once, everybody in Cleveland being happy. For once, everybody, no matter if you black, no matter if you white, no matter if you Asian, blue, black, yellow, red, no matter what you are, Republican, Democrat, whatever you are, if you're a Browns fan right now, there's one thing that we can wholeheartedly agree on, and that's the Cleveland Browns is going to the playoffs, and this is one of the better moments that we've ever had in 2020 and in the history of the Cleveland football team. I'm just ecstatic. I'm elated. I'm just happy. The game wasn't perfect. Digging into the game a little bit, me, I give you the good with the bad. First and foremost, I just wanted to get it out the way that I'm just extremely pumped. And it's way easier doing a review and critique of a game when you're going to the playoffs. So now I can get to my notes and talk to you about what the game is and game plan ahead of the playoffs and give you that game management. And I do realize last week when you checked in for the the post game show and the highlights and the analysis and recap, so I was just so heated. I was just so beside myself. There was probably 15 minutes I couldn't even get to. I didn't even get to 15 minutes of it. It was just I just had to leave it at that. I was so beside myself. So this time I want to give you guys your money's worth, and I really want to give you my thoughts on what the Browns did today. And to me, it'll go down much easier because I started off by saying that the Browns, they're in the playoffs, so we can go ahead and get that out the way. First and foremost, one of the things that I can respect most out of the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin is this. I hate the Steelers. I hate them so much I don't even play with them on Madden. I don't buy Steelers clothing. I rarely buy Steelers, colors to wear. I don't listen to Black and Yellow. I don't listen to Wiz Khalifa. I very rarely do any of that stuff with Pittsburgh. I really take that seriously, right? But let me just tell you something right now. I respect the hell out of Mike Tomlin and what it is that they have instilled in Pittsburgh. Because we came out there with damn near our whole starting unit. We came out there, we was missing Goodson and Denzel Ward, and granted, and Sadejo is nothing to be like whatever, like he's not like some all-star. We know how I feel about him, and we know how Cleveland feels about him. But we came out there with the whole offensive line intact, all of your starting receivers ready to go, your 2 running backs, and the Pittsburgh Steelers came out there with their second unit and gave you the business. All you wanted to handle for 4 damn quarters. And Mike Tomlin says something that I find that is very poignant. He says the standard is the standard, meaning it don't matter who you are. It don't matter if you're 5th string, 1st string, 2nd string, what round you got drafted in, what school you came from, who you filling in for. The standard is you're expected to play a certain way. You're expected to act a certain way. And the decorum of what they're going to try to do is what it is. And you know what that guarantees? It guarantees a basic bottom level standard of play. It does not matter who puts Pittsburgh Steelers jerseys on. Best believe they are going to come play you. They are going to come play you and give you the business. They might not win that game. They might not air it out or give you as much as they did with the starters. But best believe if you come out there half stepping, if you come playing, you're going to get beat. And you might get beat by 12, 14 points. So I want to give them credit because, listen, to me, if I'm looking at this tape, the Steelers outplayed the Browns for most of that game. Steelers outplayed the Browns for most of that game. Their passing game looked better than the Browns. If it does not come down to a couple of plays from Nick Chubb breaking that long run, in the first game, some of the run yards look as a little skewed because of what Nick Chubb did in the first quarter. So I want to give credit to them because if you happen to go see the Steelers again, the Cleveland Browns are going to have to do something. That effort today is easily a 17 to 20 point loss with starters in the game. Big Ben, Hayward, TJ Watt, they get those Pouncey. They get those guys back in with those receivers. Trust me, 17-point loss. Easy. Not enough pressure up front. Not enough pressure up front. Let's say it again all together. Not enough pressure up front. Joe Woods, you had some success. When you're bringing pressures, you see what happens when pressures happen. You get Mason Rudolph off his point. You get him off his routine, his rhythm, and you can affect the play. But when you let quarterbacks sit back in the backfield, whether it's Mason Rudolph, whether it's Deshaun Watson, whether it's David Carr, whether it's Lamar Jackson, whoever you want to call, Sam Darnold, it doesn't matter. If you let them sit back there and you let them pat the rock, you're going to have a long night. Now, you got away with some stuff today, but by no means was this your best performance. And I get it. You got people out. I get it. All that good stuff. But here's the thing. What you're doing now isn't working. Whatever you're doing now isn't working. We know that you don't have the players. We get that. But we need to see something different if you want different results. If you know dropping into coverage is not going to work, you have to do something different given the personnel you got. Right? Eric Turner's not walking through that door. You're not getting Frank Minifield and Hanford Dixon walking through them doors. You got them corners that you got. Figure out a way to get pressure and help them in the back end. Having them cover for 5 to 10 seconds obviously is not the way you want to get this done. Pressure starts the clock. Pressure gets people off their mark. Pressure makes any quarterback think under pressure. It makes them hurry. It makes them rush. It messes their mechanics up. And you can cause errors, turnovers, bad throws, all the above, letter D. You got to do that. You got to play. Don't think you can go to the front office and say, well, the reason why my defense was bad is because I didn't have my people and I couldn't run what I wanted. I wanted to run with my scheme. That's not an excuse. You have what you have. Make the best of it. Coaches make adjustments all the time. You got to make some. I didn't see enough of those today. Did not see enough of those today. Let's go to Kevin Stefanski. I've been praising you all year. Now, let me keep bringing you this thing, too, because I don't want to see people check out the blog and say, oh, my goodness, I can't believe this guy is being negative. He's being negative and we went to the playoffs. No, check out the first part of the blog. Let me just start by saying this. I've praised Stefanski all year, praised him up and down. I think he still has an opportunity to be the coach of the year. But let me tell you something. I don't like the game plan. Did not like the game plan 2 weeks in a row. Did not like it. Didn't like it. And let me tell you why I didn't like it. You still have not been giving Nick Chubb the ball enough. 11 to 15 carries is not enough. You see what he's able to do. And when you look at him and you look, he broke a big run early in the game, you act like he's on a minutes restriction. Is this basketball? Is he on some sort of snap? Is he on some snap restrictions? Let me know. Send me an email so I can send it out to the people, because people asking me, G. Bush, where's Nick Chubb? I mean, I don't know if it's something like, you know, if y'all got a secret contract that he gets a basketball max deal worth $250 million Steph Curry dollars or something, if he goes over 1,000 yards or if he gets 100 yards a game, or you trying to keep his numbers down. I don't know if the Browns front office does not value running backs the same way they don't value linebackers, and they're trying to keep his numbers down. Now, I ain't a conspiracy theorist, but I'm just saying, I'm looking at this game, and I'm looking at the games from half season on, and the levels of carries are not there for Chubb. They're just not. Giants game weren't there. Jets game weren't there. I'm looking at this game, and he comes out shredding the Steelers. Chubb's getting 4 or 5 yards first down. We coming out in 5 wide. What is this? What kind of playbook is this? Where is that intelligent, creative playbook that we saw? Let me ask you out there. Let me ask you, I'm going to talk to the camera today. When's the last time you saw play action? Where is the play action game? The vaunted play action game. Where is that at? I have not seen that in weeks. Where is it? All of a sudden, the Browns are this 5 wide, Hollywood Higgins, spread them out with Hooper. I'm like, where is the power running game? And then the variety in the power running game ain't even there. Where's the tosses, the outside off tackle plays, the zone and the stretch plays to the outside, attacking the C gaps and the B gaps? All I'm seeing is inside dive, inside zone plays. I know that you got Teller. I know he's a monster. I get that. But you don't got to keep running in the A and B gaps every single doggone play when you got 2 of the best cutback runners in the game. Nick Chubb is a cutback runner. Why are we not running stretch so he can cut it back? Now, let me, I'm just asking. I ain't trying to be a conspiracy theorist. You know how I feel about that conspiracy theorist crap. But I'm just saying, it seems weird that it seems he's being phased out of this playbook. Phased out. You can't have, almost 100 yards on 8 carries, and then you don't get the ball. We're in 5 wide all the doggone time, and they can't stop the man. If the Browns want to get past the first round, you in the playoffs, if you want a first round game, you are going to have to recommit to the run game. This 5 wide stuff that we're running, that's cute. But listen, bro, you're going to have to get back to what the Browns do, and that's running the football. And you ain't got to run it 60 times, but you sure as damn hell well got to run it more than 11 or 12. And we've lost our way in terms of giving the best player in our offense the football. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. That's 2 weeks in a row, Stefanski. I did not like your game plan. I never liked Wood's game plan. And moving forward, the offense is going to have to score all the points. They're going to have to score because defense, we know what that looked like. Let's also talk about something. Myles Garrett. Now, let me talk about this. He's hampered by the COVID situation. That COVID situation has zapped Myles Garrett of his explosiveness. After he's come back from COVID, he's not the same player. He looks like he doesn't have the same power. He doesn't have his same get off, his same leverage, his same quick twitch, his same bull rush. His moves aren't there. He's huffing and puffing after 3 to 4 plays. They're rotating him out. And when the Steelers go down the field, Myles Garrett is on the sideline when they throw that bomb to Claypool. He's on the sidelines. And I've been talking about it. The effects of COVID-19 on athletes' bodies, you're going to watch, and the data isn't been out. The effects of COVID-19 on the body are going to be finding out that it's more adverse than, oh, you're just really healthy guys and you can come back 100%. That's not the case. I'm sorry, that's not the case. I'm looking at Myles Garrett. He's just not the same player. I'm looking at Olivier Vernon, and I'm just saying, Olivier Vernon looks more explosive than you right now. He does. He does. Myles Garrett before COVID was affecting every single game. After COVID, not so much. He's had a couple sacks here or there, but as far as his dominance, his physical presence has not been there. That is a storyline you're going to have to watch the rest of the year. It's going to be the rest of the year. Rest of the year to watch that. Looking at this game, I also will tell you this. I also will let you guys know this. I don't know if this is a transition from what the Browns want or if they're trying to figure out if Baker's that guy. Something tells me the analytics department is doing something, right? A lot of people don't remember this, but go back and look at some of those press conferences and they talked about this. One of the reasons Josh McDaniels did not take this job is because it was told, and specifically in the media, we were made well aware that one of the prerequisites to taking this job is sitting down with the front office week to week, going over the game plan. We've forgotten about that tidbit because we got Stefanski, and it seems to be a thing. It seems to be, we forgot about that because Stefanski early on was running the football. Early on, running the football, keeping everything at bay, running Chubb. But slowly but surely, as this season is going on, look at the attempts from Baker. Look at the amount of times in shotgun. Look at the amount of times in empty. Look at the decrease in the amount of 2 tight end sets. Look at the decrease in the play action games, right? You've moved Baker along. And for me, what I'm looking at is when you got a heavy analytics department with the Cleveland Browns, the heavy analytics has probably already said A, B, C, or D. A, we need to find out specifically during this playoff run what we're doing with our quarterback. We need to figure out within some sort of certainty whether or not, and come up with a formula as to how we understand in this system whether or not Baker Mayfield is the guy. Because what I'm thinking, sitting here thinking, if I'm in the front office and if I'm analytics and I'm a finance guy and I'm in an analytics up there and I'm up there talking to the owners, I'm telling them like this. Well, listen, Mr. Haslam, I'm up there with Deep Podesta saying, look, Mr. Haslam, we cannot get a read on whether this guy is actually the real deal or not. And Jimmy Haslam's like, what do you mean you can't get a read on it? Well, the way that our plays are called, Coach Stefanski does a great job in giving Baker really great reads. So we can't tell whether or not it's Baker who's really making those plays or whether or not it's Stefanski and his play calling. And this is very important. Now catch this. There's always been a split when you talk about analytics between who's calling the shots and who's more important. That caused the split in New England. Is it Tom Brady or is it Belichick? Is Tom Brady the reason they get Super Bowls or is it Belichick? Because when you're shelling out contracts, trying to figure out how to allocate money in your cap, how much are you worth on the open market, that plays a huge part in the reasons why they give you a contract or don't give you a contract. And so when you're calling plays and everything's play action and Chubb and Hunt and tight ends and you can't get an accurate read, I would not be surprised if you go in and meet with the analytics team and they say, well, listen, Coach Stefanski, I think it's about time for us to open it up a little bit. Baker's the number one pick. I'm not saying throw the ball 100 times, but don't you think it's about time to start opening this thing up to see what we got? Because we need to figure out at this position during the season whether or not he's the guy or not the guy. And if you are naive to think, if they're not hedging their bets and these Ivy League guys are lockstep in terms of game plan management, in terms of asset allocation, in terms of money management. They're thinking all those things. Also, please don't be confused. Nick Chubb, by the way, too, is going through some of those things as well. Do you really want to? We just gave Kareem Hunt money, right? I mean, it's leverage to say, well, we got Kareem Hunt. Why do you think they signed Kareem Hunt first? Granted, his contract was up. Granted, he was going to be a free agent first. But that gives the Browns some level of stability to say we could play hardball with Chubb if we want to. And I've always said this. I've always mentioned this. The rubber meets the road on who to pay. The Myles Garrett one was easy. Denzel Ward is relatively easy, even though he's injured all the doggone time or something's wrong with him. Baker Mayfield is a quarterback. If he continues to win, it doesn't really matter. He gets paid. But the person that is up for debate is Nick Chubb because he's already had injuries in college. He's already blown his knee out a couple of times in Georgia. And also, you're looking at a specific amount of money that you're going to pay him. He's a second-round pick. He doesn't have the fifth-year option on his deal. How much is he open on the open market? And if you don't think, they're thinking like, well, if we keep his numbers down, keep his carries down, he might not be able to demand the level of money that a Derrick Henry has because on talent, he's just as talented as Derrick Henry. Stat-wise, not so much though. Because Derrick Henry is getting, if Chubb plays for Derrick Henry, in place of Derrick Henry, you swap the two guys. If Chubb goes over to Tennessee, he's getting all those carries. The way that the Browns run Nick Chubb is confusing to me. He's a ghost. He's just missing from the offense. Even with that level of production. Why on a second team unit with over 100 yards and under 8 carries, why would you not be giving this man the football consistently the rest of the game, icing this thing down? And somebody told me, well, maybe Kevin Stefanski's holding something back for next week. He holding something back. Well, listen, Browns ain't good enough to be holding nothing back from nobody. You better show all your cards. You ain't got no time to be holding, like you got some special cards to be holding back. You ain't got no special moves like that. Listen, you got a regular checking and savings account. Like you got a money market account. You ain't got no CDs. You ain't got no mutual funds, IRAs, Roth IRA. Stop. You got a regular checking and savings and a little Mac card. You remember the little Mac card? It didn't even be attached to nothing. There was a rainbow at the top and it said Mac. And I ain't talking about Mid-American Conference. Overall, man, I will say this in closing this up. Moving forward, I don't care who the Browns play in the playoffs. I'm just happy they're there. They're going to have to play a lot better if they're hoping to get anything off, though. They're going to have to play a whole lot better if they're hoping to get anything off. And they better figure out right now if they're going to commit to giving their running backs the football and how they're going to get this run game back on target. Because in January, all that little cute little stuff stops. All that cute little dink and dunk, It's January. You got to figure out how you're going to run the football. Whether we going to play Buffalo, who looks like a monster, whether we're going to come back and play the Steelers again, which they got their starters back, it's going to be a problem. Whoever we play, the Browns have to play much better than they did today. But I would always want to say playing much better next week is still a relief because guess what? We is talking about next week. We talking about playoffs and we got there. as always, man, I want to thank, in general, I'm just happy for every single person. Whether you're a fair weather fan, whether you're a fan that just got on to the Browns a couple weeks ago, whether you a person who has been in Cleveland territory, but you grew up on the Steelers or Ravens and you're thinking about, cheering for the Browns, or if you're just a person who's been a diehard Brown since the 60s, love Paul Brown, Jim Brown, Paul Warfield, Otto Graham, all those good guys, Luke Rosa, Marion Motley, if you're one of those guys, congratulations. Salute to you. Even though I'm happy for the players and the organization, I'm more happy for you because you guys don't understand how many people you keep in the game, keep spirits going. You got people like me that only do Browns content for the most part on here, and I got people flooding my timeline with salutes, thank yous, all that good stuff, and it's a whole business on here with nothing but Browns content. And the only reason we're able to do that is because of the passion of the fan base. And you guys have been loyal to every single team that's been garbage since '99. And you've been out here supporting win, lose, draw, 1-31. Holmgren telling you don't ask for no tickets. Mangini doing all kind of crazy stuff. No talent. Where we getting our quarterbacks? You've been through all of that. And you still rocked with the Browns. You still supported the Browns. You support channels like mine. You support my radio show. You support local people. And I'm going to thank everybody around the world for staying local to the Cleveland Browns. Today is the day for you. Today is a success story for you. And I appreciate your support. And let's talk about it like this. We can talk all the good stuff we want to about how bad you play and whatever you do. But since the beginning of this channel, I told you, if you get in the dance, you might as well go ahead and ask that pretty girl how to dance. You might as well get your freak on. You might want to go ahead and, like Martin Lawrence said, you might want to go ahead and dance with her. And the Browns have an opportunity to win the Super Bowl. Because guess what? The first step in winning the Super Bowl is making it into the playoffs. One step at a time. And as always, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. I want to thank y'all. I'm looking to hit 3,000 subscribers. People may think that's trash, but who cares? I'm looking to hit 3,000 subscribers. Thank you if you can make that happen to me. And thank you for you loyal supporters that have been here since the barbershop day one. As you can see, you know what it is. It's your boy G. Bush. Salute, peace. We in the playoffs, we in the playoffs, we in the playoffs, we in the play.